Hello, and welcome to Talk, Therapy, Heal, where we delve into life's challenges and struggles from a mental health standpoint. Join us on tonight's episode.
Hi, I'm Kenya.
Welcome, I'm Rachel.
Hey, I'm Larisha.
Hey now, this is Nikki.
And it is your girl, Shan. Now, as I say and have been saying in the last few episodes, we hashtag bring the tough topics to the table, okay? So use that hashtag, bring it to the table, because that's what we do here at Talk Therapy Heal. We are still in our healing series, if you will. And the title of the healing series is Am I Healed? So we have been talking about the healing journey. We are finishing up our healing season with episode 9. So episode 9 is thinking about this as we go through this on tonight. Total healing may show a scar, but it's no longer tender to the touch. If you missed any of the previous ones, go back and watch them and then come back and watch this one.
Yes, so essentially they made it, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all,
You are in your healing season. I mean, this is
for sure. For real this time. Not for play. For real, for real.
for real. You are at your or in your healing journey, and you have hit that last stage of you are healed. It may be a scar there, but it ain't tender no more. Y'all can go into places, and be around things that does not rub you in the wrong way and cause you to feel uncomfortable. So, man, this is great. This is really great. What I want to do, y'all, is kind of break it down into what that looks like, right? Or kind of like what it looks like and how you can accept or be where you are and move forward. So keep going, because I think you said once before, Larisha, that healing is a continuous thing, right? So I am going to forever be healing some part of me, right? So we want to continue to celebrate. So this is one of the things, or 4 things that I got. Accept the past. So embracing your trauma as part of your history without letting it define you. You're here. You're at the heal point. So you don't have to, you no longer have to allow the trauma that you've been through to define who you are today.
Right.
Second thing is celebrate your strength. Recognize and celebrate the resilience you develop. You have went through a whole series of healing that deserves some kind of celebration. Like, you gotta celebrate that strength, because it took strength to allow somebody to really dissect you,
Right.
cut you up, cause you pain, and bring you now to this healed place of where you are. The third thing is understand your scars. Because we say, you're going to see the scar, but understanding that the scars are a sign of healing and growth. It is no longer open. It's not exposed. It doesn't bleed. It's not oozing. It's not doing any of those things. It is healed, y'all. And then that last thing is move forward with wisdom. Use the lessons you've learned to enrich your future.
Wow.
That is wonderful, because I now have all of this newfound things, and don't forget about y'all backpacks. I mean, you got all this stuff in your backpack.
Yeah.
This is not the time to throw your backpack away. This is not the time to pack your backpack in the basement somewhere where you don't ever see it anymore. This is a toolkit you take with you everywhere you go, because now that you've learned what you've learned, you can help somebody else.
Absolutely.
I think that's important. I like how you said celebrate yourself, because that's one thing I know that we do, especially when our clients get to this point of their healing journey. And okay, this is what I'm going to ask you. I don't think I've asked the question this whole series, but how does it feel as clinicians, as mental health providers, counselors, therapists, whatever term, whomever want to give us at that moment, when your client reaches this point? How does that make you feel?
Oh my God.
I cry.
Yes, I am. And I know when we, especially for Christians, we're not supposed to be proud, but I am godly proud of them. Like when they come and they have that moment and they reach it and they realize it, my smile is just as big as theirs. I am so excited. I'm doing whatever. I was like, if we were in person, I have balloons. I'd be doing, streamers would be up. I'd be blowing all the things. Blow the trumpet.
Yes.
You have healed.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful feeling, not just for the clients, but for the person who has walked alongside of you through that whole entire journey.
I think also keep it in mind, you're still at that time reinforcing the client and not taking the credit away from them.
Yes.
I've had a lot of individuals come back, hey, you know what? You did so much to help me. No, you did everything. Only thing I did was offer suggestions. I helped guide you, but you had to do the work. All this belongs to you.
Right.
And now that person is still leaving there feeling empowered. And maybe the next time if they're in crisis or God forbid if they're hurt, they go back to that tool bag and try to tackle that thing from there.
Yeah, I'm really grateful because as we said before, when one person heals, they can heal a whole family. They can heal a community. So I'm really grateful because now there's going to be a ripple effect in that bloodline. And so I am really grateful to see people win.
Yeah.
But I would just say, you said that you want to cry. I do sometimes, you know, because we see how far they've come.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we're so excited, you know what I mean, for what's to come for them.
Yes.
Right.
I love that you said that you do cry because I know a lot of people are afraid to show emotion, especially as professionals. We feel like we have to be the person who shows strength and show like we're some kind of robot that just take all their problems in and it doesn't affect us. But when we see that they've come from this crisis place to this place of peace, this place of beauty that they have created for themselves, so it moves you to tears.
Right.
It moves you to tears. And I always tell my clients, like, I'm going to let you sit in your stuff so you let me sit in it. You know, the fact that you have come here, you are at this place. I love that for you.
Right.
I love that for you. So showing vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's your healing.
Right. And I think for me, I think where it really moves me is the fact that the client trusted.
Yeah.
Because think about, and I always tell people this, and it was funny, people try to have a little debate on social media, which I don't debate, but I always think the premise of a lot of things is broken trust. So for a client to reach out to you, maybe, you know, I've did a case consultation with this therapist, but it's something about you. I chose you. You said that you will walk alongside of me, and they trust you in the most vulnerable parts, even though they don't know you like that, but as a professional to help guide them through some of the darkest areas of their life to come out on the other side to be healed for real. To be healed for real. It's a level of excitement. And the reason why I posed that question to my colleagues is because to let you all know, number one, it has never been about us. Like Kenya was saying, it's all about you all, but we get excited in your growth. We get emotional with you in your growth because, you know, people often say this, just in everyday life, especially if you got a big heart and you always help people, you find yourself as an individual always giving your last, being there for them at their beck and call. But the reality of when you learn, you got to want more for you than I want for you. Then that's when change will happen, growth will happen, healing will happen. So that's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
I like that. And I, as you were talking and we're sitting here having this conversation, we're talking about total healing, and no longer being tender to the touch. I want to pose a question and ask about, healing in a sense, because I said in the first part, accepting your past. So embracing the trauma without allowing it to define you.
Right.
So finding peace and, with your past and working towards acceptance and making peace with what happened. What does that look like for someone to be totally healed? Like for you all, us personally, you say I'm healed. How would you explain what that looks like for you on a regular basis to show that you're healed? or to know that you're healed.
You talking about us as individuals
You're
or if we with the client?
Or with the client. But I want us to start with our personal walks.
No self-condemnation. You know, there's no sense in beating yourself up for something that you did, said, or whatever. We're all human beings and we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to fall short of the glory of God. But how do you recover from that? That's what defines you. And so for me, things that I've gotten past, some of it was just breaking down walls that have been built up that don't make sense. You know, you're a man. You ain't supposed to cry. You ain't supposed to do this. You ain't supposed to do that. Plenty of people in the Bible that show emotion. And then the last thing is just being at peace and accepting that peace. You deserve that peace. Nobody deserves to be in turmoil and all that stuff all their life or even for long periods of time during seasons. But we have to go through that sometimes. But once you know that you've been healed, you can be at peace. And it doesn't matter what you may have said or done. You're okay with it because you did the work to say it's okay. It's no different if I am playing a sport and I win a gold medal. When I get up on that podium, then I say I did the work to get here. Same thing with our clients. When you are able to accomplish all your goals and you know that you are healed, it's time for that individual to climb up on that podium and accept their gold medal and live in that moment. The things that you have been through is what's going to build you and define you, not the thing that you particularly did. It's how you overcome things.
Wow.
That's good. I was just thinking about just how I'm able to recover. And knowing that, okay, if something does come up, if I am triggered, I know what I can do to get myself back grounded. So that shows that I am healed, that I'm able to recover and not dwell in any emotion that is unpleasant for me. So yeah.
So y'all work with me.
Okay.
So you shared that it looks like resilience, acceptance, and wisdom. And so there were two things that went through my mind. War, work with the letters, y'all, and raw. And so I'm leaning towards raw. So when a person is healed, they're able to be raw, in which they're able to be vulnerable.
Come on.
That's good.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Raw. RAW.
I like that instead of worrying.
Fighting within themselves.
You know, it's almost
that's
like when you see people in church sometimes and they're giving a testimony. And the only thing you got to do is pay attention to the people. Oh my God, did she just say she did whatever? Or he said he was this before he became a pastor? That's raw. It's letting people know exactly what it is that you went through or what you may have been drugged through. But look how you came out on the other side. And I think in society, they pay too much attention to the negative things that you do instead of the positive things that you do to overcome stuff.
Yeah. For me, I love all of this. For me, my healing, me being healed lets me know, or my healing represents me being able to define myself and not being defined by anyone else. Like, I know who I am at this point because when I was unhealed, I let other people tell me who I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think for me, what I wrote down is how I recognized I was healed is because I no longer act, walk, or speak like I used to. And I'm saying when I was wounded, when I was fighting to be heard, because no one would, when I didn't have a voice, the only way that I felt like I could have a voice if I was angry, cussing, fussing, just, you know what I'm saying? I would be on 100 because I tried to start off calm and then I went to 100, you know, but realizing I don't have to go to 100. I can say what I meant because now I have a voice. I've worked through those painful things and I've now been taught, you know, that it's okay to speak like a lady. I don't have to act like G.I. Jane anymore, you know, and all those things. And it's how I interact with people. I no longer have to give you my energy. I could just say, God bless you and keep it pushing with a smile. And this is what I realized. I'm just a little part B to that. is when you're having a conversation, and I'll kind of go into this a little bit more, with people who are unhealed, when they try to push my buttons and I no longer fall for the bait, that gummy worm, like a fish, they get mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I just laugh and say, God bless you, and walk off.
Yeah.
And that's how you can notice that you've been healed, because other people notice it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Other people notice it, and they'll come in, oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, well, why don't you talk to us like you? Why don't you do this? Why? Because they know there is something different about you, and people can pick up on that.
I think people treat you differently too.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been in spaces where they'll say something maybe not so pleasant. They say, "Oh, I'm sorry," because they
they know.
recognize
They healed.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm going to respect you.
Yes.
So people can pick up if you're healed or not.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I want to add too, because a lot of times when people have been healed or from something, they feel like they've gotten over their past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to bring my past with me. I want to forget it. I want to leave it where it was and forget all about it ever happening. And I think part of, that healing is accepting that and embracing the fact that your experiences is what's shaped you today, who you are today. So you don't have to run away from that past. It don't have to define you, but understand that it shaped you.
Yeah.
And that it's a part of who you are. Kind of like what we talked about with people trying to hide their little girl, little boy self.
Yeah.
You can allow them to come alongside you and walk with you. They don't have to be hidden or locked away.
Right.
It is like your secret power. Like you can use this as your strength. Like be proud of your past, because you can say, I made it on the other side. Like there's nothing to be ashamed about. If you're really healed, you won't be ashamed of your past. You can just be proud of, you know what? This is where I was. This is where I am now. And this is what you can do too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find to be interesting as we're speaking about healing? Oftentimes when people are struggling, especially in their unhealing, maybe they're in their, as we said in previous series, infectious state, they look at you and they have already formulated in their mind that, Rachel, you can't understand what I'm going through. You're married, you have children, you're this. They're looking at all the things, right? And so what I think about, because this has often happened, let me share this because this really helps somebody. I just had a conversation just yesterday about this. When you are healing and you start to speak from a healed place about what you went through, those who are unhealed around you think that it's about them. So case in point, and if I could be really transparent, sexual trauma, I've been through that. So when I sit up and talk about it, those who are unhealed in my family would say, well, why would you bring that up? You're making me look bad. But it's not about you. And we spoke about it in the last series, is that what tends to happen is that the very people who think that you haven't been through anything because they chose not to hear your story. That's what people do. They choose not to hear your story. So they put you on this mantle like you've never suffered through anything because of your outcome, because of your healing that you're walking in right now. But then when you say, I've been through that. What? You went through that? Oh my God. It opens up the door. So when we say you heal and you can help somebody else heal, they can see what it looks like, what the other side of that healing looks like.
Yeah.
And maybe I can go through this journey.
Yeah.
And I love that, because what I'm hearing you say is that you understood your scars and you told your story.
Yes.
You're telling your story. You're sharing your journey with other people. And that's a testament to your strength and your resilience.
Mhm.
It is never about the other person. It's
Right.
never about anybody else. It's about you. But being able to tell that story is a part of that growth process.
Right.
Of course.
And the unhealed to make you feel bad because they want to shut you up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Why would you do that? And even for the additional individuals in your family, in my case and point, and I'm not, specifically talking about any member of my family, then it's like, why would you go and make your sister look bad? When you went and told that, did I bring my sister's name up in it? No, it was about the story and how I made it over. Come on, somebody. Y'all know about that song.
But you know,
I don't look like what I used to.
And sometimes when it comes to healing, for a lot of people, it takes a lot. And for some, it doesn't take a lot at all. It just takes an opportunity for them to have their voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
And that not only heals that person, but it heals other individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was doing a training one time, and I noticed an individual, and they were kind of acting off. So what I did is I told my co-trainer, I was like, hey, are you seeing what I'm saying? She said, yeah, I already got a handle on it. And so the person got up and went out of the room. I went behind this individual and was like, what's going on? And the person was like, I just need to get up out of there because that's hitting close to home. Fine. Found this individual a room to go in and didn't say a word. Hey, if you need me, I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes. About 20 minutes, I go back and we have a conversation. The person says, I heard everything that you say in there, and it seems like you have a heart for people. I don't want to interrupt your training, but is there any way possible you can allow me to speak to the group? And I'm like, yeah, there ain't no problem. I said, I'll just cut it short and you say what you got to say. And he went in there and lit into some people because it was an issue that they were not taking serious in the training, but he had been through that and he told them the reason why. Now everybody sits there like, shit, but you're with us at work oh my God. And I was up here making jokes. So that person is healed because he had the chance to get that out. He made an impact on other individuals. And that same exact day, it was about 3 or 4 other people in there was like, you know what? That was me too. So sometimes your healing really is connected to other people. So it doesn't matter what has happened to you that hurt you. Can you heal so that you're able to reach back and grab other individuals? So now we're adding to the number of people who are being healed instead of the ones that are being hurt.
Ooh, I wrote down turning your pain into purpose.
Yes, got to.
Into purpose.
It's an African saying. It's called Sankofus, a bird, and basically his neck is turned behind him, but it's symbolizing going back and bringing people in front. So that ability to be healed, to share your story, it sets other people free in the room because then, you know what? Like if they can, I can. So go back and get more people on your healing journey.
If I could share this, I wrote healed versus the unhealed. And I find myself often having this conversation. One of my prayers for 2024, because usually, you know, for me, run 1,000 miles an hour during the year, take them vacations that Rachel was talking about. But in December, it's like this is the end of the year. This is a slowdown for me. I pray, I get before God. God, what do you want me to do in the next year? So one of my prayers for God that I asked is, God, surround me. So these are for people, you know what I'm saying? You hear, surround me with, I felt a draining in the last year. It was a pulling, a tugging, you're the responsible one. You're the one that's going to always make it happen. Let's meet up at no one wanted shared responsibility. It was, Rachel, let's always be at your house. You know, all the things, it was not being reciprocated. I find myself pouring more into people, and not from a counselor perspective, but I'm talking about social every day, and they were not returning that. And so it was a draining. And so I prayed and I said, God, I know this is not what you wanted for my life. I know this is not, I did the work. I did the healing. I know I'm supposed to help others. That's what you put me on this earth to do. I got it. But why am I not good enough to receive the same pouring into that I do with others? And so one of the things that got put in my heart, it was me. It was the people that I had surrounded by me. I was still trying to hold on to those short-term, you know, what do they say? Reason, season, and lifetime. I was holding on to the reason and the seasons, trying to make them lifetimes. So in my healing, I desired to have conversations with others who are healed, because that conversation is different. Come on now. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
We said that. Right?
Yes. The conversations are different. And not that I judge people who are not healed and who haven't went to counseling. So please don't come with that heart. Just here to understand what I'm saying in this moment. When you can tell, because those who are full of anger, I know what I was. That was me. Those who were full of, I got to get the last word. Those who are full of, I got to always be on 10. And I noticed with myself that it was causing in the 2023 for me anxiety. I never wrestled with anxiety. But when I would go in the presence and I was like, God, I want to be surrounded with those who you desire for me to be around. I took my hands off of it. I was healed, but I was still trying to manipulate my surroundings, right? But I took my hands off of it and I realized that the anxiety was no more. I realized that I was having healthy, iron sharpened iron conversations. And then when I identified, oh my God, these are people who are healed just like me. The conversation is totally different when you have done the work, put in the time, put in the coin, you have healed, and you can have intellectual dialogue with others who are healed. I'm telling you, it is the most amazing thing. Those who are, Shan, what do you do for those who are unhealed? I don't cut them off. I listen to them, but I don't feel the responsibility to drag them along. They gotta get their healing for themselves.
What I heard you say is you begin to want more.
Come on. Come on,
You
counselor.
get to go after it.
Yes.
And there is no blockage. There's no body, no rules, nothing to hinder you to go after what you desire. Because when you're stuck, when you're unhealed, you want not much. You have a really limited mentality and mindset. But when you're healed and you're free, no shackles, nothing holding you back, you begin to think bigger. You begin to play bigger. You begin to live bigger. And that is freeing. That's so exciting. That's what we want to get all of our clients. So this is the standard of living, to walk in absolute freedom.
And that's the reason why there's always a cutting away when you're really healed. See, what most people won't understand is as Shan was talking to you guys, I was in a place, I had all these individuals around me. When you desire to have better and you do better, then there's a natural falling away because those people aren't willing to do the same thing that you did. And so oftentimes once you reach that, now everybody looks at you and was like, well, why did you get to have the house? Why do you get to have the car? Why do you have the husband? This ain't about me. This is about a position that I was in that I pulled myself out of. This is now my reward.
Come on.
And what most people will say, and I used to tell people this in counseling, if I had to give you an opportunity to have an award or a reward, which one would you take? They say, I want an award. Why? It starts with A, you only get it once. A reward happens over and over and over again. And so that is why people don't understand that there was a young lady that was a prostitute. And then she made her way out of the streets, took a low-paying job, worked her way up, jumped around from job to job until she can get somewhere where she could live, had a child, worked her way all the way up, and now she has got a husband. She's got 2 or 3 other kids. They've got a nice house. Well, you were a prostitute. Why did you deserve that? Because that wasn't the position that I was supposed to be in. That was just a place. Now I'm at my destination.
Come on, sir. Mic drop.
Destiny.
Look, knock it off.
That's destiny.
That's destiny. Yeah. And it ain't, people always say it ain't where you start out at. It's how you finish. And it doesn't matter if you finish dead last. You still got to finish.
Right.
And if you ever think about it, people will come across the finish line in a track and field meet and everybody's clapping. Oh my God, did you see it? But when that person is running dead last because they trip and fell and people are still standing up clapping, everybody gets the chance to get clapped for it. That's what it's all about.
Go for the reward.
That's it.
Right.
Go for the
over
reward.
and over. And you mentioned standard of living. I said something, I heard you say standard of living.
No, I'm just talking to me.
It was amazing. I like that. It went with, oh my goodness. This is awesome. To get to the finish line.
That's it.
Powerful.
That's the reward.
And listen, we often do this. Y'all should know that by now. But to get to the reward, and not only are you rewarded over and over again, you then, just like you were saying when we came on and we were speaking about it, is you then get to help someone else. And then they get to help someone else. And just like we were speaking about episodes ago, we hope and pray that Talk Therapy Heal helps you to think to affect not just you, but those around you, those in your community, those around the world. What would it look like if more people were healed because they did the work, what would our community look like? What would our world look like? What would social media look like when people are sitting up here, grown as can be, bullying each other, but then telling children not to do it? Oh, y'all not ready for that smoke.
Yeah.
Come on, somebody.
We talked about that in season 1.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah. And it doesn't make money.
Okay.
It doesn't make money. It's just like when you look at the news nowadays, they're going to give you a few things to start off with. Then they're going to hit everything that's going on that's detrimental, bad, this, that, and other. And then the last 2 minutes, well, we have a good news story tonight. We're going to move over to Minneapolis, St. Paul, where we have Tori. Just go to the story, Paul. And then they give you this little short story about somebody that did something great in their community. And then, that's it for NBC Nightly News. What about all the other good stuff that's going on? But we're spreading so much negativity that is what's taking over. So what are people doing? A lot of people are striving to do things that are more negative in hopes of getting attention to be in the spotlight. Instead of doing the good things, not trying to get in the spotlight, but if it is there, it's to get people to know what you're doing, how many people you help, to see if somebody can help you, and then how many people do you help throughout your community.
So it still winds up being about being noticed, the attention.
Yeah.
Which is unhealing. Because why you're still operating in an unhealed space, even though this show is talking about healing. However, I would like for you to recognize, not judge, not point the finger, not say, you need to go get your counselor because I went and got me one. No, it's just recognize, because this is what I see in a healed place. Your vision is different.
Yeah.
That's just like when you have on old glasses.
Yes.
Well,
Come on now. And you still trying to make the things work because you don't want to go and spend $300 for some new ones. Or you may not have insurance at the time. But look how your vision changed. When you get, baby, I'll be happy. That's like Christmas. When I got these glasses from Z. Lewis or whatever the name of that place is, I was so, you can see and your vision is clearer. And you see different.
I don't know why the song just popped in my head. I can see clear.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes, it is. You can see clear once the storm is cleared. Once the storm is gone, the rain is stopped, the healing has taken place. You can see clear.
Right. I think this is another thing too, I just kind of wrote down, because I think, you know how they say survivor's guilt?
Survivor's remorse?
Yes. Please do not, because you worked so hard to get to your healing place and those around you have not fallen to the place of healing guilt, to where you kind of, I would say it like this. I hope it makes sense. Where you try to make yourself smaller to fit in.
So don't diminish yourself and what you've been through.
Don't diminish your healing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't dim your light.
Come on.
Yes. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And you know, the bigger thing for me is to understand how things are supposed to be. And I have a lot of conversations with people, especially at work and things. People say, well, we know you believe in the Bible, Jesus, this, that, and other. But, that may not be me. All right, well, let's talk about it. Well, why do we have to have 10 commandments? Don't they make sense not to kill, not to steal? And then when you go further in the New Testament, doesn't it not make sense to heal? That's what Jesus did, the very biggest part of his ministry. And there may not be an exact number out there of how many people Jesus healed, but they say it could easily be in the hundreds to thousands, but it said a multitude. And so if Jesus took the time to say, I'm walking and I see a bunch of people, let me go in the crowd and whoever's sick, what more should we be doing? When we go past people every single day and know that people are hurting and don't say a word. So this is what I always tell people. Don't be the person on the side of the road. Because you drive down the highway, you see somebody broke down, and you will go just like this. And go right by them. But then when you break down, you start asking questions, why ain't nobody stopping? So.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to pause you. But I want to stop you right there, because this is when people become healed and they've come out on the other side, it's the fear of going back or being taken back to where they previously came from, because they remember that place, remember the body keeps the score and all of the things. So if I I see somebody, oh, I want to help them. Oh my God, I want to help them, but I'm scared. If I stop and I help them, what if it takes me back? What if it pulls me back?
Do you have to do it?
Are you called to that person?
Right. So sometimes you may not be the person that's going to do the work, but you may be the person that leads that person to the person who is going to help them do the work.
So you're planting a seed.
Right. If I see somebody on the side of the road, and I'm just going to be honest, I used to would stop for people like that. Times have changed and you can't do that with everybody.
Listen.
But I may pull up and get in front of them. Hey, what's going on? I ran out of gas. I might go up the street, get a gas can and put about $4 or $5 in there and come back. Here you go, and keep going. That's still helping that individual. You don't have to do all the work and put yourself in that situation to get pulled back. That's maturity.
Yes.
Knowing that I came from someplace and I'm not strong enough. I'm healed, but I'm not strong enough to go back into that same area and pull somebody else out.
Right.
So you may have to go down and say, hey, Kenya, I saw a guy down on the corner of such and such today. He was in this situation. I wanted, but do you think you know somebody, or can you? Now that's different. You're still doing your part. And that's what it all boils down to. And that is no different from being in church and saying you were delivered from a spirit or anything of that nature. You can't run back down to the club pulling everybody up out of there because you just fresh came up out of there. It's easy for you to get pulled back, but you could easily, but you can give that person the word. Hey, I know where you're at. I've been there myself. I can't pull you out, but brother, hey, such and such Street Baptist Church. Hey, that may be a place for me.
This is what helped me.
There you go.
This is what helped me. You might want to take
You planted the seed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Share books, share the resources.
So you just so Lord, if I had this problem, I used to. So you get excited because you're healed. You get excited because you made it to this place. You made it through the storm, as we were saying, but try not to get into that's a whole nother show. Did we talk about that? The Superman, the Superwoman.
Yeah.
Y'all go
Don't-
back. Take
Yep.
it back to season 1 and watch this show. Getting into the savior complex and say, I'm healed. Now it's my job to go and heal everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes, because that right there will then become draining and have a potential to take you back.
So I guess because we say that we always want to provide tips and tools, right? Strategies for people that are experiencing what we're talking about. And so to keep me from going into that Superman, Superwoman complex, one of the tips that I wrote down was rewriting your story. So you get to rewrite how your story is going to be, reframing the trauma or whatever you've experienced to highlight your growth, where you are today. I'm not who I used to be. I'm different. I'm a different man. I've been reborn again,
Right.
if you will. So this reborn person, who is he? Who is she? How does she handle situations? How does she using all of the tools that they've learned? How do they now handle things? How do they show up in the place or in the world or in relationships? Rewriting what you now want people to see. And I'm just reminded of this all the time when people that meet you that knew you win.
Oh my God.
And they try to treat you as if they knew you win. And it's like, no, I'm not that person anymore. Like if you I just think of our bishop. Everybody call him Chip. You knew me when people call me Chip. I'm no longer Chip. Not that I'm taking my title and saying I'm now bishop, but I'm Henry.
Mature.
I'm much more mature.
All things have passed away.
Behold,
All things are new.
all things are new. So I'm no longer who you remember. And so you can't treat me like who you remember. One, because I have boundaries in place, and I'm not going to allow it. Two, I have become a new person. I know who I am. So if you're not open to receiving or getting to know the new man that walks before you, then we can't go forward.
Right. That is good. Because you know what I just thought about when you were saying that? So how we were talking about in the last episode, or maybe it was the one before that, about the broken, we spent the house and little child, the damaged little child in you is in the basement or the attic. You locked them away. And because people knew you then, they still, like you said, try to treat you. And then some, because you talking different, You walking different. You're not, oh, you don't want to go for it no more. Oh, no, I don't do that no more. I mean, if that's what you do, I'm not knocking or whatever. And then again comes that frustration of, well, okay, so let's say, for example, to make it plain, we're sitting here and there's a cookout, right? And say Rachel knew you from back home and y'all grew up together and all these things, but you done went off to the military. Now you got this, you got your practice and all the things. So you're having an intellectual conversation, but Rachel can't get in on the conversation. And so mentally, emotionally, intelligently, she's not able to go there. And that's not Rachel, but she's not able to go there. So, well, I remember when you was 12, you remember when you stole out of that store? And everybody at the table sit up like, where did that come from? Like, why that? And you like, yeah, I do remember that. But you keep going on with your story. Well, do you remember that time you got in that fight in school and we almost went to jail? People will try to bring you back.
And that's why you got to stop them in their track. You remember that time when you stole that stuff out the store? Yeah, and I remember bringing it to you and you eating it.
Go somewhere. Take this. Take it.
We know. That's it off.
No, Will. You was gonna remind them of who you are today. But to come, no, they said
No.
What
was that thing that looked like that stick that looked like a carrot?
Oh, forget back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, the Chico stick.
Chico stick. Yeah, I remember you chewing hard and asking for some water.
You are a mess. But yes, people will try to take you there. So in your healed state, you have to be ready for that. And know that you don't have to react because, the parent of me would have been like, baby, I got dirt on you too.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have to react like that. You could just say, oh, okay, we could talk about that later and continue on with your conversation because generally 9 times out of 10, those sitting at the table with you, if they heal, they already know what that person's doing.
Yeah.
And to be able to say, Rachel, come over here. Let me holler at you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go left.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to go to 100 like I tell my clients. But to say, just what y'all were saying earlier about y'all's bishop, that's not who I am anymore. And I don't feel, this is how I do it now, I don't feel that your remarks was conducive to the conversation.
Yeah. But, that's funny to me because people put more attention and pride in possessions and things than they do in people.
Mm.
Do you remember when your roof needed to be replaced? I guarantee you didn't go outside and start talking trash to the roof after it was replaced. Oh, you remember when you didn't have no shingles up there? Do you remember when, we had to put that blue top up there to keep stuff from it? But then what people will turn around and do that.
Right.
You don't go out to the car and say, remember when you broke down and we were stuck on the side of the road? You don't do nothing of that.
Because you can't get a response.
You can't.
Right.
You can't get a response.
Get a
and
reaction.
I can't change the dynamic of what that impact.
Right. But
on
what's
you,
more
but
important?
I can with a person.
But what's more important? It's the people.
Mm.
That's why we have people that take pop shots at people over craziness. Sometimes I see your strength, and because I'm not as strong as you are, I got to try to tear you down.
Bring you down to my level.
Right. And when you learn that, you don't even have to give a response. The best response you can give is be quiet because they're sitting there thinking, well, why ain't he saying that?
Because you know what? You have to reintroduce yourself.
You do.
Yeah.
Because people,
That's good.
you do.
Yes.
Or you let somebody else introduce you. And when Shannon and I were at Fort Campbell, I was playing flag football for for our company team there. And people really didn't know me. They didn't know how fast I was. And so one guy started talking a lot of noise on the field. And I just don't talk noise. I came off of the field, dropped the ball because I just scored a touchdown. He came over, oh, yeah, Sarge, you think you just did that? I'm going to get your, he said some words. Mm-hmm. And so I just walked off the field and everybody said, well, how come he ain't saying nothing? And one of the coaches we had said, oh, that's Sarge King. He ain't going to say nothing to you. He may hit you upside the head with a Bible, but he ain't going to get mad. And sometimes you got to let other people talk for you.
Right.
Because sometimes people don't realize who they are truly talking to. See, I could be a blessing to you in a way, but then you're going to put me down?
Mm.
I want to say, because I had a post, God be giving me stuff and I write it down, and then later I may post it. And I just posted this, but I wrote it down a long time ago. And it was talking about, have you ever thought about the reason why a relationship or friendship didn't work out, being related to you choosing to live your life authentic, free, and open. And it's sometimes hard for people to accept that you are authentic, free, and open because they are not. And then they're faced with the truth that they are not. And when they're faced with the truth that they're not, instead of applauding you, they reject you because they can't accept that they are not authentic, free, and open. And how dare you decide to be?
Story of my life.
Man.
Come on.
Man. So when you are choosing to make that change, you are choosing to be totally healed and walking your healing. It's hard for other people to accept the fact that you are healed. And how dare you decide to be healed? So I am going to reject you, and I'm going to try to make everybody else around me reject you too, because I can't accept the fact that I am not healed. Man.
Well, that may be the area where, Jesus needed to touch some people right there, because everybody that went through something in the Bible and had an encounter with Jesus, he changed their name.
All right. So reintroducing.
That's it.
Wow.
It's myself.
It's almost like it's a new calling. You were this, and I'm calling you out of that into a different place.
Oh, but it is a new calling.
And that's why I say sometimes you have to understand that the people that you were with that meant to hurt you, they don't realize that you could be the one to turn around and be a blessing to them, and they still go try to treat you like dirt. Look at Joseph when his brothers put him in the pit. He went from the pit to the palace. Potiphar, you messing with my wife? No, I would never do this, that, and the other. But he was still the reason why his brothers and his father was evil. And some people don't understand that. So I would tell people this: if you see somebody healing, stay in line with that individual, because it can lead to your healing and it can be a blessing for you as well.
Yeah, so stop trying to reject and condemn and bring people down to a level. How about you try going up with them instead of trying to bring them down?
Yeah. Y'all ever paid attention to mountain goats or rams?
Not normally.
Now listen, Kenya.
It's so country. In the bush. That one guy. Let us young in the bush, I go.
Billy goes for about things like that.
I didn't know. I didn't know y'all all your life.
All women. What's the Rams, the football team? And I don't even know whether they Dodgers.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it to you this way. Buffaloes are funny animals. And I think I may have told you guys this before. Anytime there's a big storm and buffaloes are around, they never, ever run away from the storm. They run into it. Because their thinking behind this is that as I'm going into the storm, the sooner it'll be over. So sometimes when you're going through crisis, sometimes it's to hit it head on so that you can get through it quicker, as opposed to trying to run away from it and it's still coming.
It's chasing you.
Now, the whole thing is about the Rams. Let me go back. Buffaloes are very self-absorbing, if you will. If they get spooked by coyotes, wolves, or something, they will start running. When they pass another bison, if you're running slow, you're the older one, they will hit you to knock you down so it saves everybody else.
Ali.
Oh, so they sacrificing folks.
They would, not folks, but
The old people, they're picking them off.
Right.
But if you ever look at the mountain goat, the Rams, they're always trying to ascend higher. They will get to a place where nothing else can even get to them. You don't even understand how they're able to stand on a rock that big with 4 feet and they never fall.
Wow.
And so I tell people, sometimes you got to get yourself in a position where you're a mountain goat, where you stand so you can see everything that is beneath you.
Come on.
Be a mountain goat.
You ain't lying, because I'm sitting up here like, what is the Rams team? He talking about Rams and Billy Goat. Look, that was amazing.
Y'all know I'm
a mountain goat.
Y'all know I'm an outdoorsman.
Come on now. Look, y'all just got to bear with us. This is amazing. Oh my God. We hope that you all, I'm not trying to end nothing, but I'm just saying, I'm sitting up thinking that you all has been blessed by this series. Because for me, it has been a blessing.
Yeah.
And how you have made mention about rewriting your story. We've talked about positive affirmations throughout this series. To get to the end and the finish line, we even at the beginning of this celebrated like we had a client right in front of us.
You all got to this finish line with us in this process. But this is the thing. If you can't break down and articulate the way that we have, of course, because we see this in the counseling room and we've shared our own personal journeys, what we've been through, being transparent, keeping it real with you all, not trying to make it seem like we all up in the heavenlies and stuff. If you can't articulate it the way we did, it's okay. You too, buddy.
Yeah.
You too. Share. Hey, you said you was going through this. You know, the other day when we was talking at work, girl, how about I just listened to these group of people? It was these counselors sitting at a table. I heard them say, bring it to the table.
There you go.
And so I'm going to share what they was talking about at the table. That is, I think, an amazing way to help not only bless the individual, but get it out to other people. Because do you not want your whole community to be healed? I don't want everybody click, ticking, and booming around me.
You won't be selfish.
Say that again, please,
You
ma'am.
won't be selfish when you're healed.
There you go.
You're going to share it. You're not going to clean shit. You're not going to keep it from nobody else. You know how we can be like,
Gatekeep. That's what the young kids say.
yeah, gatekeeping. You won't. You're going to share. You won't be selfish. That's how you know you're healed.
That's it.
Come on. What you had, Larisha? Okay, because I seen your finger, your head.
Just, you know,
What you got?
I'm just being a mountain goat over here.
Go. Stop, mountain goat. She's standing on the pebbles.
Standing on a little spot.
Put down. Come on now.
I was just going to say, so at the beginning, you talked about how we got to understand the scar. If we take it back just a little bit, we got to understand the wound that results in a scar. So I want to share just real quick, just this thought, and I'm going to, do my best to explain it. Scars may scar you, and that's twofold. So we can look at it from the natural, and we're looking at it from the spiritual perspective. In the natural, right, the injury, the wound occurs, and you have a scar, right? You touch it, it's not tender. In the spiritual, you have the word of God that heals, delivers, and sets free.
Yeah.
But not only that, I was thinking a little earlier of John chapter 15 and how it talks about the pruning, right? You all were talking about the cutting away. And so in our process of understanding the wound and getting to the scar, there is a cutting away, right? And whether it was during the infection phase, whether it was during the access phase, the assessment phase, during treatment, you know what I mean? There's the cutting away. So in the natural, you can heal. And in the spiritual, you can heal as well.
I see.
I see it. And I don't know if this is where you were going with it, but it just hit me that you said a scar
may scar you.
May scar you. And okay, so maybe I'm not thinking of it the right way, but I was thinking of a scar may scar you when you are doing that cutting away, that pruning. There's scars that are going to be happening because other wounds are going to be created, but you can't worry about the other wounds and scars that may come for other people. You have to focus on the scar or the wound that you are tending to for yourself. So even though your scar may scar you or a scar may scar you, your attention should be on your wound, on you healing yours,
on the healing.
But it should be an honor to have that second scar.
Yeah.
It's going to be, that's an honor.
Yeah.
You know, that spiritual.
Because me and God then came in and did his work to heal us. That's an honor.
This is amazing.
Okay. Well, we done made it to the end, y'all.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing series overall. And we have talked about a lot.
Yeah.
We have hit so many different points that I kind of want to go back, and I'm going to use your notes here a little bit to go back and talk about. We started with, in this season, with episode 3 of Access the Damage. So allowing entering in. Episode 4 was determining how deep the wound is. So assessing the wound and what all came with that wound being, or how that wound came to be. Episode 5 was what was needed to repair the damage, putting together that toolkit, giving them the things that they needed in order for them to be prepared to deal with the next phase, which was beginning the cleaning process, the infection of it, the treatment. How are we going to take those tools and treat this thing? Getting into there, because we said re-injuring too, cutting and opening it up. We were going to re-injure the person in order to clean all of that stuff out. Then we moved into don't cover the wound with contaminated material in episode 7. So not covering it up with things that is going to make it worse, but making sure we have something clean and pure on our wound so that we can heal properly. Then we moved into episode 8. You may see healing on the surface, but be careful of the tenderness of the underneath, meaning that you could open that wound up if you go out there prematurely and act as if you're in your healed space. So being careful of that and being here today. I am in my whole healing, or tonight I'm in my whole healing. I am a healed whole person.
Right.
And celebrating that. So much that we have covered, y'all. So much we have covered. But I want to leave, and I want you all to, I want to open it up to everyone to leave something, one lasting thing that you would say to people. And for me, it is set new goals. Plan for the future with new goals that align with your healed self.
That's good. Wow. I was thinking, and I'm looking at our logos, and it's not what I'm going to say is to bring attention to ourselves, but Talk, Therapy, Heal. We just did a series on healing. So in order to get to your heal place, you must talk, seek professionals in therapy so you can heal.
That's it.
Come on, somebody.
I'll just say your healing is out there for you. You just got to go get it.
I have 2. Be a mountain goat.
Come on, Mount Goat.
Get your reward.
Yes.
It's your destiny to be healed.
Come on.
Hey, damn, she took my goat.
The mountain. You say the goat again, Nina.
Whatever you mean.
Yeah, double goat.
You know?
I'll say this one. One of y'all said it, but I adjusted it just a little bit. So I said hashtag healing. It ain't about them.
That's big. That's big.
Hashtag healing. It ain't about them. It's about you.
About you.
Right.
Your healing.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, we're going to have a lot of hashtags for y'all. Look out for our shirts coming.
Yes.
Oh, a bunch of them.
It's coming. And I'm going to say this real quick. I know we're closing. The song that's playing in my head is Go Get It by Mary Mary. Go get your blessing because it's your time.
Go get
Look at you.
So go get your healing because it's your time.
Yeah.
It's your time.
I love that song. Y'all see, we love to have fun on Talk, Therapy, and Heal. We keep it real up in here, okay?
Oh, we do.
Go get your healing.
Go get your healing. It's your time.
It's your time.
Yeah. Oh, we thank y'all. Oh my God. This series. Go watch it. Please go watch it. Season 2, we came out on fire for y'all.
Yeah.
And we want y'all to really be healed. True healing. It's going to be more coming after this because we can't just leave this right here.
Right.
We got to create something for y'all, and it's coming. So be on the lookout for that. Talk, Therapy, Heal is not going to be silent. You hear me?
Yeah.
We are bringing it to the table. So make sure y'all are meeting us here. So like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so y'all can join us at the table. We don't want to always be at this table by ourselves.
Come on.
Sit with us.
Yes.
Sit with us. thank you so much for joining us. And we will see y'all next time here on Talk Therapy Heal.
Bye.